Travis Kelce's looking like he's good to go, and I got to change this graphic. Kelce, good to go for week number 2? The answer to this question right here is yes. According to all reports, Kelce is ready to play for week number 2. Will he be limited? I suppose he could be, but Kelce, at any sort of limitation, is still about 90% better than every single tight end option out there. So you don't even contemplate this one. You don't. He goes out there, he catches 2 touchdowns and 40 yards on a limited sesh out there in week number 2. This man right here, on the other hand, Austin Ekeler, is on the wrong side of questionable. He's not even, there's no even projection of practice, so I don't think he's playing. Plus, he put a social media post up talking about be patient, worry about the end result, not the actual now. Very, very cryptic, and then also, talking about some stuff on shows where go grab his backup. We're pretty confident Eckler's not only out week number 2, but probably very questionable for week number 3. The Fantasy Football Show Breaking News Edition begins now. It begins now, broskies. File on in.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
So, Travis Kelce looking very, very good to go unless there's some sort of setback somewhere. He will be playing week number 2. You need to get him in all of your lineups and get ready to dominate again. And so many people forgot what their offense, their fantasy football offense, was going to look like, because this guy's been sitting on the bench. Everybody came out that had Kelce, probably crapped the bed. I'd venture to say 70-80% of people with Kelce probably lost week 1. And you're looking at your roster, you're going, what can I change? What do I need to change? The answer is maybe nothing, and you need to take week 1 with a grain of salt. You need to walk into week 2, especially if you had guys pop off like DeAndre Swift in week number 2 with Thursday Night Football. You need to be patient with the squad that might be coming for blood in week number 2, because week 2 is Moon Man Revenge Tour week.
The Moon Men dropping loads in outer space.
Revenge Tour week is coming for everybody week 2.
Space Moon says.
And I want to specifically say to people, do not be selling this guy at this cellar dweller pricing I keep seeing. Smitty, should I trade Garrett Wilson for a 4th round projected player if we were drafting today? The answer is no. Okay, we were all of us were at our end with Swift after week 1 because we thought more of the same. Don't cut him. Some people cut him. Some Bobs cut him. No one said to cut him. Were we upset? Yes. Were we hopeful? Not really coming out of week 1. Then the Kenneth Gainwell injury occurred. Then the buzz started lifting and rising. He could potentially start. Maybe he is going to start. And then it was Swift season, and he was still a risky play, but he absolutely smashed, and Swift is now on the moon. He's on the moon. He might even be headed to Mars. It's unbelievable how quickly the tide turns. And so we got to talk about some other players coming in here. Kelsey, get him in your lineup. Get ready. Kelsey's back. Unbelievable news. Unbelievable news. Unbelievable. Couldn't be happier with the beginning of this day, at least. But this news is not good. Austin Ekeler, again, putting up an Instagram post about being patient. He heard someone tell him, I don't know, some sort of statement that he was talking about. I can't tell you word for word what it was. Actually, I could probably play it if I wanted. Let's see, Austin Ekeler. It's something along the lines of this right here. Here we go. Let me show you.
You guys are having a good start to your weekend. I heard something this morning that really resonated with me.
So he's saying that he basically, was told something, it resonated with him. It's about patience. Is it going to play? Be patient is what he's saying. Be patient. It's not even.
Hope you guys are having a good start to your weekend. I heard something this morning that really resonated with me, and it was someone that said, be patient with the results, but very impatient with progress. And man, I was like, that was music to my ears, because you put in so much work and you don't always see the results you want to see immediately, but guess what? It's inevitable as long as you continue to make progress. So keep going out there. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, I mean, he could just be, this could be something along the lines of, just the hard work, that he's having to put in to get back onto the field this week. I'm not trying to say that we know for certain he's out. We don't fully know, but we pretty much have a strong indication that given he's 28 years old, given that he's got a high ankle sprain, and high ankle sprains are no joke. Where's my foot model when you need it? High ankle sprains, almost hit my face, are no joke, because it's not like he damaged the ligaments in the ankle here. He damaged this part up here. And like we learned with Mike Thomas and other players that have had injuries at this level here, this right here is where the pain is, in between these two bones, and how that separates. And you just can't play through a high ankle sprain for a number of reasons. If it is high, you're going to potentially lead to a destabilization of the actual leg in that region up here, where the bone, in Mike Thomas's case, if you remember Mike Thomas's injury, he injured the I believe it was a deltoid ligament right here, which holds, and I'm not 100% sure if that was the ligament, I think it was, that holds this together essentially. And every time he tried to plant and explode, it would feel like his two bones here were separating, and there was no explosion. And that's the one thing. Ekeler goes out there anyway, he has no explosion off that leg. And the likelihood of further damaging his leg or causing some sort of long-term problem is so astronomically high. So even if you own him, you don't want him to go out there and play this week. He'll be ineffective. He'll be on a pitch count. Joshua Kelly probably outscores him, and he probably re-injures or causes some sort of compensation injury because he's pulling up on the leg, not cutting on it, pulls a hamstring. It's almost inevitable that he would pull a hamstring or a groin or an Achilles or something by compensating not being able to be himself out there on the field. So it sucks. It is what it is. It's kind of like Kelsey playing last week. If he played last week, apparently he could have been at more risk of injury. And all is said and done, he's coming back healthy. Everybody's excited. Let's go Travis Kelce to the moon. To the moon. As far as Ekeler, I would be very skeptical that he's ready to go for week number 3. Let alone him playing week 2. So plan to be without him. I think all the signs are there that he's going to miss the week. Puka Nacua, who's everybody's favorite wide receiver right now. He's the next Cooper Kupp. He's not. And you need to trade him away if people are valuing him at that territory. Okay? We had somebody last night. What was the trade that the guy made? The poor guy. We love him. We appreciate him. He's part of this show, this community. Don't clown on him or anything. But he traded away something like, what did he do last night? He traded away, was it Swift for Nacua? What was it that he did? He traded, I think it was DeAndre Swift for Nacua. And I said, what in the hell are you doing? I think it might have been worse than that. What did he do? He traded away, someone remind me what he traded away last night. But it was something horrible and getting Nacua. So yeah, and I got the Ekeler's not practicing thing right up here, bro. It's somewhere around here. This right here, Travis Kelce, DT, Chris Jones will make their season debuts on Sunday. So that is confirmed by Schefter that good old Travis Kelce boy is playing week number 2. Let's go Kelsey to the moon. To the moon. What was the trade? AJ Brown. Oh, it was AJ Brown for Nacua. I think it was. Dude traded A.J. Brown for Puka Nacua. And A.J. Brown's such a good buy low right now. Are we concerned? A little bit, sure. Are we trading A.J. Brown away at like late 3rd round value? The answer is no. So let me get this straight. We're valuing Puka Nacua. Some people are. Not we. Some people are. As a 3rd round player, this guy can be traded off at amazing pricing. Go do it live. Go get this man. or go trade this man. Go get this man if he's on waivers still. He's probably not. And trade him away, because apparently you could get the world for him. Apparently you could get a Deebo Samuel. Apparently you could get a Damian Pierce. Apparently you can go easily get a Dotson and a Pickens. Dotson and Pickens are getting this guy coffee according to the fantasy football landscape. I'm telling you right now, this guy doesn't have the talent to be an electric elite wide receiver 2-1 in the fantasy football realm, people. This is a trade high player. A trade high player. It's madness to me. The amount of and so anyway, back to the news on it. His oblique, he's listed as questionable. The man was targeted 48,000 times in week 1 because that's what Stafford does. This is a product of a good player over targeted by Matthew Stafford. People are dropping Brown. If you can trade for AJ Brown at like 4th or 5th round value, you could potentially win a league. I'm worried about his knees. He doesn't have any issues right now. I'm just saying, like, this is a player that was kind of concerning walking into the year at his inflated top 10, 11, 12, 13 overall value when Devontae Smith was nipping at his heels to become the number 1 wide receiver in Philly. And let's just be honest, Devontae Smith is the man. But do we go get A.J. Brown at 3rd, 4th, or 5th round value? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Why do you say he does not have the talent? Well, the talent to contest with what people are talking about here, bro. That you could start him as your wide receiver 2 with a smile. Anybody that thinks Puka Nacua has the talent to be a fantasy football like high-end wide receiver 2, they own him and they're hopeful. And I get that. But you got to be objective here and say, is this guy a product of Matthew Stafford and being good? He's good. Could he be like a low end wide receiver 3-4 in fantasy? Sure. But he was saturated with targets. He plays the 49ers this week and he's injured, and he was peppered with targets that no one's going to stay healthy on. If you're brand new to the NFL and this is your introduction here, take 10,000 targets from Matthew Stafford, which is one of the big reasons Cooper Kupp was Cooper Kupp. Not saying Cooper Kupp wasn't amazing. You cannot separate situation and talent, but you cannot start thinking that this guy who is oversaturated with targets is going to come in and be a fantasy football high-end wide receiver 2. Wide receiver 3, sure. Okay, but people are trading for him as if he's a high-end wide receiver 2. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely take a lap worthy. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Aaron Jones is questionable for week number 2. Fully expect him to be out unless some sort of miracle happens. I mean, this guy has played in different situations that resemble this, so know that. He's been in the league a while. He's a veteran. He doesn't necessarily need to even practice on Fridays to be a go. So keep that in mind, but start preparing for A.J. Dillon to get a go. And be careful with A.J. Dillon when you're trying to like toy around with a stud. And you're like, okay, the stud has a tough matchup. Do I go with A.J. Dillon? A.J. Dillon's a good start. He's a very good start, very good supplemental play, very good plug and play, very solid low-end running back. 2 numbers are possible with him if he is starting, but keep in mind that the excitement of the new shiny toy might make you plug him in if you're not careful and you start overthinking things. Always play your studs, start your studs. Don't be sitting... honestly, I don't even know I'd sit Breece Hall in a tough matchup over Dillon. It's tough. I mean, there's a gray area for sure, but don't start getting crazy, okay? With good matchups, good players with good matchups. Like, I could understand a Breece Hall going to the Pine, sharing carries, going against Dallas. Like, I could understand that, I suppose, but I definitely think there's a certain line where it's got to be horrible matchup, sharing carries, a lot of, situations like Javonte, he's still sharing carries. You don't fully know what his workload's going to be. That kind of thing I could see, right? Maybe even, a wide receiver 3 flex and you're like, let me put A.J. Dillon in. But stop overthinking this with your studs and saying, oh, I got a new shiny toy, got to use them. Mark Andrews is a full participant today, an indication that while questionable, the plan is for him to play week number 2. This is good news if you've been holding out on Mark Andrews. But I'll tell you something, I worry about Mark Andrews staying healthy, and I think the smartest move is to trade him away. It would be the wisest move. This news right here from, let's see here. This news right here from Davante Adams, or about Davante Adams' foot was removed from the Raiders injury report. Looks like he was getting a Veterans Day off, but he definitely is banged up a little bit with the foot. And at his age, again, like Ekeler, there's concern. Just monitor it, but it's good news that he's out there. This right here, I love seeing this stuff. Not only pleased with how he saw it, let's see, what was this? They're talking about... not only pleased with how he saw it and how he hit it, but also thought he protected the ball, especially when they're coming after it in situations at the end of the game like that. Talking about Eagles staff, talking about this man, DeAndre Swift, and his ability to close out this game like a monster. I don't know if we're looking at the makings of a low-end running back 1, but I think we pumped the brakes and we'd be grateful that we got a player that finally popped off in DeAndre Swift, getting that 170-plus yard, 1 touchdown affair in week number 2. Let's go. Let's be careful. We don't expect running back 1 numbers, but we'll hope for running back 1 numbers going forward on this guy. And honestly, don't sell low. Aaron Jones, I got that one out of the way. Appreciate you guys with that. Christian Watson actually upgraded slightly. Questionable for week 2, but he did get in a limited sesh on Friday, so there's hope that he could play, but there's still a lot of doubt that he's ready for it. Rams rookie wide receiver Puka Nacua, again questionable oblique. This is just another one. He's expected to play even though he's questionable, but against the 49ers, so not the best game to go out there and play injured because you're going to get smashed. Let's go ahead and let's hit the super chats real quickly. Super chats galore coming in hot. Appreciate you all. Let me put these on screen and answer in order in which they've come in. Thank you guys so much for everything you do, all the super chats you drop. You guys are amazing. You keep the lights on. You are the reason this show exists. And without you, I wouldn't be here. So always want to say thank you and tell you how grateful I am to have you all part of this community. Overcome, thank you. Thank you, Fields of Dreams. Appreciate you. Overcome, Trone. Josh, I got your super chat on screen. Team Zero Gaming, appreciate you. Let me throw these on here. And then Cam, appreciate you, Cam. Daniel Golf, appreciate you. Drop your question on screen here. And Joe, appreciate you. Your question is here, and then I'm going to start answering these and knocking these off one by one. Oracle, appreciate you. Jackson, appreciate your super chat. Thank you for the $2 holler, Jackson. Thank you so much. Cooper, appreciate you. Thomas, appreciate you. And then I think we're getting close to the end here. Hold on. Swavey, appreciate your $10 holler. Thank you so much, pal. I don't know if you tried to attach a message. You didn't do it, Swavey. So I'll try and look for it later. If there's another comment somewhere in the chat, you got to include it in the message, guys. 2QB, Watson, Brees for Fields and Connor. Chris, let's see. I'm probably gonna go Deshaun Watson. I still try and upgrade Watson, but I want the Watson side. Swavey, I'll try and go look for it. Pierce, Javonte, Kelly, if Ekeler is out. Pierce, Javonte, Kelly. Probably say Kelly's the safe play. Pierce is the higher risk, higher reward. I don't know that he's that high risk, but he's a little bit higher risk. So that's the way I look at that. This question here from Thomas: I traded Flowers and Javonte for K9. Felt I needed help at running back, so you traded Flowers and Javonte for K9. I don't mind that as long as you got Charbonnet, which it looks like you do. That's pretty solid. There's some pros and cons to that. I mean, if Javonte gets on his horse and is better than Walker, which is possible to happen, I don't think anybody should write off Javonte, but he's not quite there yet. And Walker was one of the most utilized running backs, even though the stat line wasn't there. He's on the field. He was a snap count monster. So it's awesome, bro. It's awesome. let's see here. TM, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. Davis with the blow-up week. Y'all start him. Gabe Davis. Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised. $4.99 super chat. 10-team super flex. 2 flex. Hurts, Love, Christian McCaffrey, Gibbs, Devontae Smith, Olave, Ridley. This team's great. There's nothing to do here. Make any moves? No, you wait. You wait on this team. This team's going to hit, all cylinders go, bro. This is a good squad. There's nothing to trade here. I mean, Judy, and you keep Hawkinson at this current moment with your setup. Judy and Warren, wait for Warren to do well, wait for Judy to do something, and then you can maybe maneuver with that. You just got to wait until things happen. Have PPR Rashad White versus Chicago or Dotson. I'm not starting Rashad White. Why will we start Rashad White at this point in time? Go Dotson. Dotson's still an animal. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't let Dotson. Dotson is an absolute monster. I still think he's going to do amazing. So get him out there. This one right here is from Oracle. 10-team, Allen, Diggs, Ayuk, Pollard, Bijan, Andrews, Monty, Elliott, and Denver bench, Rashad White. Thoughts for season. Allen Diggs is great. Ayuk's looking great. Pollard, Bijan, yeah, this is good. I mean, Andrews is back. Monty's good. I don't think there's much to move here either. I think you just kind of let it ride. Flowers and Monty for a slightly better RB. Flowers and Ayuk for even a tiny bit of an upgrade at wide receiver. You might even want to poke around at like Javonte Flowers for AJ Brown, but even then it's like, Puka, you move Puka and Javonte for AJ Brown, Puka and Scary Terry for AJ Brown. Past that, just let that team ride out too, because you got a lot of guys that I want in your lineup. I'd only toy around with the bench players. Pick up Tank Dell for Bigsby. You're talking about, pros and cons, man. Tank Dell is probably going to get more work and is a beast in the making. I think he will be eventually. And Tank Bigsby's an injury away from being a league winner. So, I mean, do I take their RB 9 times out of 10? Yeah, but there's no telling what's going to happen or how long it's going to take. And hopefully, ETN doesn't get hurt or anything. Trade target, best running back stream this week. I mean, Daniel, you got to go to the waiver wire video because I have no idea who's available in your league. You have to give me a list of the top running backs available. I'd say, looking at the waiver wire show rankings here, let me pull this up for you. I mean, just take a look at this and ask yourself, is Sean Tucker there and below? Is anybody above? Did Warren get dropped? Pick up Warren. Warren's a great pickup and play, coming off a tough matchup against the Niners. Kyron and everybody below. Spears is a good streamer if you need one. Obviously, the Baltimore running backs, A-Chain. So let's go ahead and take Gainwell off of this one. Okay, appreciate you, my broski. Okay, let me throw this on here. So, Daniel, you got to give me a list of players, but that should give you a little bit of an idea. Smitty, true league winner, never doubt Smitty. Thank you, Cam. I'm not right all the time, bro. I mean, even last night, I thought Cousins was going to have a tough game. He did start out tough, but they came back. Things happen, but I appreciate your confidence in me. Let's ride. Let's take 2023 by the balls week 2 on, and let's go for it. I feel something is missing. Help, brother. Herbert, Pollard, Walker, Devontae Smith, Flowers, Hawkinson, Kirk. Maybe try trading. You got to wait on Kamara. That's what's missing. But, I mean, you got a few players I don't love at all. That's probably what it is. I love the starting lineup. Nothing's missing there. Kirk and Kittle, Kirk and Deontay Johnson. Not that you can sell him. Kirk and Sutton, Kirk and Hollywood, all for one better player. Take stabs at like A.J. Brown and then start working your way down. Quick, thanks for... what's it say? Thanks for GMing my Waddle for Adams trade. But I don't know that I'm like sold on that. Like Adams is okay. I think I told you it was like I could get behind whatever. I don't necessarily want Adams over Waddle. They're both about even. You're not looking to trade away Lord Skywalker at all costs, right? No. O-line injury is scaring. Not at all costs. No. Would I trade him away? I'd trade away anybody. So it just depends on what we're talking about. Hey, Smitty, should I trade Garrett Wilson for Keenan Allen? No. I take Garrett Wilson. This is where I draw the line. People are disrespecting Garrett Wilson as if he can't be an elite, like 8 to 15 wide receiver. You know, I want Garrett Wilson. Trade Swift for JT. No, I'll take Swift. Kamara. No, I'll take Swift. Look, this was great a couple days ago. But now Swift might be a low-end running back one. Kamara's tempting, but bro, you have no Kamara for another, week. I don't know. It's not horrible. Like, I could get behind either side, but I don't think I'm doing it. Flex Hall or Garrett Wilson. You should be getting more. Get Kamara, get more. Get a Dotson, get a Pickens, get something thrown in. Flex Hall or Garrett Wilson. I'm going to probably Garrett Wilson because Hall's still kind of splitting, but that's a tough one. Fields of Dreams, family drama. I bench Swift. Oh, got Kelly and Bigsby. Do I take a lap? Take a lap if you're start. Well, Kelly's not. Look, Kelly was a decent play. You're not taking a lap. If Kelly's in your lineup over Swift, I get it. But Bigsby, no. But Kelly's okay. You didn't make a horrible decision at the time. You knew Kelly was probably starting, and that was understandable. So no lap, no. Should I bench London and play Sharps? No, I wouldn't. I'd play London over Sharps right now. Appreciate you. Yes, no problem on the shirt. I haven't got the shirt sent out yet or anything, so hang tight, guys. I'm still catching up on that, but I'm Grindhouse and Underdog. They'll send those out. It could take a couple weeks. Swift and Garrett Wilson for Lamb. No. Garrett Wilson's still comparable to Lamb. He's still comparable to Lamb. Garrett Wilson is not a guy that's very far away from CeeDee Lamb. Lamb's got his own problems. And Swift might be the best player in the deal. Danny, appreciate you. Trade Waddle, Sutton, and P. Ryan for Keenan Allen and JT. Waddle, Sutton, P. Ryan. Yes, I would go get JT and Keenan Allen in a heartbeat. And then I'd trade Keenan Allen. Racing Boy, how do you feel about Waller's situation? Not feeling great about it, bro. He's playing injured as an old man, and he is older for a tight end, is only going to lead to further injury. So trade away Waller while you can. I don't think he stays healthy. Swift on my waivers. How much fab do I put? 200 out of 200. Full load drop.
Initiate full load drop.
Now only you know if that's going to be ridiculous in your league, but why am I going to take the chance? I'm not. I don't know your league history and all that. I would drop full load drop. I'd drop full load drop because he's a league winner. How many league winners are you going to come across? If Swift was on our meter here of being the highest ranked player to win your league potentially on this meter, like 1 being not likely to win your league, 10 being the best pickup of the year. If Swift is available, he's a 10. This is why you have fab. If you think you can get away with dropping 100, do it. But, man, you're risking the biscuit on that one. You're risking the biscuit big time. Should I trade my Kyron Williams and DK to get Higgins? I think DK and Higgins are pretty darn close, so I don't know that this is a move that, you could argue either way, I guess I'd rather have DK, but I don't know. They're very arguable. They're very close, my broski. Very, very close. Very, very close. Carlton, appreciate you. Swavey, I'm going to try and find your message. Again, you got to attach it to the message. It doesn't come through the same like you think for me on the super chat, so I'll look for it, though. I'm coming for you after. Saquon, toughest schedule. Regret getting him at 9. Absolutely. I traded him for Paul. Remember, I had him, and I traded him for Pollard straight up, and everyone laughed at me, and I was like, yeah, buddies. And I knew what I was getting. They didn't know. Everyone's like, that was a horrible trade in my league. It's my buddy league. It's so funny. Josh Kelly or Garrett Wilson. Is Ekeler out? Ekeler is out, as we reported on this show. Carlton, go rewatch it. Joshua Kelly or Garrett Wilson. Probably Joshua Kelly if Ekeler is out. But Garrett Wilson, I'm not saying don't start him just in that scenario, but I still find a way to start Garrett Wilson. I mean, is he not your third best player? Or third, your flex? Warren or McKinnon this week? I'm probably going to go Warren in half PPR. McKinnon's not somebody you cut, though, I'm telling you. Need to start 2 running backs in a flex. Gibbs, Pacheco, Javonte. Okay, so your 2 RBs are Gibbs and Pacheco. Your flex is probably going to be... I would go Dillon if he's starting. If he's starting. AG, Walker or Garrett Wilson for Gibbs? Walker or Garrett Wilson for Gibbs? Either one. Gibbs is higher ranked than both of those guys. So, I mean, AG, I think this is a pipe dream that you think you're going to get Gibbs that cheap. But if you can, smash it. Who would I keep over Walker and Wilson? Probably Walker. Try to get Kamara. I love Kamara. Try and buy him cheap. I don't know that I'm buying Kamara at crazy pricing. You got to buy him low because he's still out of game, and you got to package in that he's not a third rounder, second rounder. Trade my haul for Montgomery and Garrett Wilson. It's close, bro. I would probably say, man, what's the chat think on this one? Breece Hall, who won't be sharing all that many carries soon, but does have a tough matchup in week number 2, is still sharing the rock a little bit. What do you guys think on this one? Please vote for our boy Michael, and let's give Michael a little help on this one. Let's give Michael as much help as we can on this one because that's a tough question. Appreciate you all. Let's see what the vote says. Let's see what the chat says, bro. Wilson for Waddle. I guess I'd rather have Waddle by a hair. Just by a hair. That's close, though. That's the line that I draw where I say Garrett Wilson is still good enough. Got Waddle, gave Adams. Pretty sure. Got Waddle, gave Adams. Yes. Okay. You said it the other way around. I'd rather have Waddle. So we're on the same page. I thought you said it the other way around. Maybe you didn't. So, yeah, Waddle. I'd rather have Waddle. Garrett Wilson for T. Higgins. I'd rather have Garrett Wilson. That's where I draw the line. That's where I just say, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to discount freaking Garrett Wilson that much. A non-PPR Mixon, DK Flowers for Tony Pollard, Lockett, Godwin. Give me Tony Pollard side, and then I flip Lockett. You know what I'm saying, broski? That one's pretty easy. James, Hay, Smitty, Moss, Collins, or Sutton in my flex. None of them, bro. None of them. Those are awful flexes, James. There's got to be a better option. If not, I guess I go... Depends on the Zach Moss news. I guess I go Nico. But that's a really, really tough spot. Picked up Roshan Johnson and traded Mostert for Pickens. Smitty approved. Absolutely approved. I like that. Nice work. Mikey says Dotson or Pickens flex spot. Dotson this week, but I do think Pickens is going to have a good week. I'm pretty sure he will. Toughish matchup, but he should be good to go, bro. Waller and Olave for Devontae Smith and Pitts. Waller and Olave. Give me Devontae Smith and Pitts, but you know there's some pros and cons to that one. You know, both. Yeah, I mean Pitts is tough to trust though at all. Dak, Carr, running backs, Gibbs, Herbert, JT, Kamara, Lamb, Hill. It's a great team. Have opportunity to get Fields. He wants a running back. Might take JT. I take Fields if I'm you. Sure. Give up JT for Fields. I'd do that. That's a good move for you. Your team's so stacked. All you need is that QB, bro. Who to flex, Dotson or Kelly? Kelly's safer. Dotson's higher risk. Probably higher reward, but I'd probably go Kelly as long as Ekeler's out, and he should be. Hey, Smitty, Zach Moss, Collins, already got that one. Again, Nico for me. Tough question, though. It's arguable for sure. Lexi with the $20 hauler. Appreciate you. Charles, need flex Tony, Charbonnet, Roshan, or Gabe Davis. I think Gabe Davis is probably your safest play, but Tony's like that middle ground. High risk, high reward, and so is Roshan. So if you need a swing, one of those two will do. Maybe we hit that later in the week, though, and we look at that. London and Akers for Pickens. I overpay. London and Akers for Pickens. I don't think you overpaid. I love Pickens. I love London. I still think London's going to do well. I think they're both pretty close, so I don't know that you made any mistakes. Daniel and Lexi, I'm coming for your $20 haulers immediately. I'm just trying to clear these out so they're out of the way. $10 hauler. Texted you about some dead trades that I got. Hot one coming in. I give up Mike Evans and Kyron for DK. I mean, that's like you kick me in the nuts, I'll kick you in the nuts, and we kind of even Steven at that point, you know? Like DK, Evans. I'd probably rather have the DK side by a hair. but that's definitely like an arguable thing. I don't think that's something crazy where you're smashing him to pieces, because Mike Evans still has something to say. He scored. He looked good. Kelly, Dillon, Javonte, pick one. I'm going to go, if that's Zay Flowers, I'd probably say Zay Flowers is your safest. Kelly's your higher upside, but a tiny bit more risk, just because we always think someone comes in and is going to destroy when they get an opportunity, and then we get fully disappointed. But Zay Flowers is steady Eddie. Have Herbert, who has Tua, Have Herbert in a Tua, and Tua. Who do I trade? The one that gets you the most value and helps reshape and mold your team, broski. Okay, let's see here. Matt, appreciate you. Racing Boy, appreciate you. David, appreciate you. Thank you guys for the super chats. So let's hit these $20 haulers, shall we? Let's get these $20 haulers out of the way. These monster 20s. We got this one from Daniel. Daniel, appreciate you, Daniel. Let me see. Where's my $20 hauler?
Alert. Super chat alert.
Okay, Daniel, appreciate you. Daniel says Smitty sent Odell Beckham Jr. and Musgrave for Swift on Tuesday. Started Swift smash. Absolute Smitty approved.
Got him.
Unbelievable. Got him for sure. This one from Lexi, Swift, Dotson. Okay, sending Swift, Penny, and Dotson and Elijah Moore. He wants Dotson, but I'd rather have Elijah Moore. For Calvin, Ridley, Madison, Ty Chandler. Yeah, send Elijah Moore if you can and keep Dotson. But would I send Swift and Dotson, Penny for Ridley, Madison? Yes, but then flip Madison as quick as you can. But I do want Ridley over Swift, and that's a smash. A deal is very, very good. If you keep Dotson, though, you crush the deal. There's a big difference. Appreciate you. Swavey, let me try and find your super chat. Swavey. 10-team T-Law, Love, Brees, Kamara, JT, Swift, Roshan. Tight end, Kincaid, Bigsby, A-Chain on waivers. T-Law, Love. It's a 1 QB. Brees, JT, I like your team. Brees and Swift is fine at RB, bro. Chase, AJ Brown, Olave. You can't sell AJ Brown too low. This is a good hold team. The only moves you can make, bro, Swavey, would be something along the lines of if Roshan gains a lot of value and you can get rid of him and you can package him and AJ Brown for a safer wide receiver. Pickens and Roshan if Roshan gains value. I like Kincaid quietly. Bigsby gains value. There's not much to trade here because all the players you have, I want you to keep. So, Swavey, thank you for the super chat. Sorry about the delay. Give Cup, Puka, Pacheco for Olave, Mooney, Pierce. I would take the Olave, Mooney side in a millisecond. Thanks again, Swavey. Sorry about the wait, bro. Just definitely include that so I have it in the message here so I don't make you wait. Who do I move Waller for? I don't know. Debo, Damian Pierce, Dotson, Pickens, guys we love late like that. Kamara, JT, Cooper Kupp. Those are all options. Start 2 running backs in PPR: Brees, Walker, Javonte, Sanders, and then do you go Garrett Wilson, McLaurin? I go Garrett Wilson, but trust your gut on that one because it is a tough matchup. But I'm not sitting my studs. Garrett Wilson's still a stud. Start 2 running backs. I'm going Brees and I'm going Walker. You could go Kelly and Walker. Kelly and Walker are probably safer. Does everybody agree they go with this week's matchup against the Cowboys and still in a semi-sharing role? Is Brees Hall riskier than Kelly? I think Kelly, if starting, and he probably will be, is probably safer. Kelly and Walker, I suppose. I hate to say that. I hate to say sit Brees Hall. I don't know if I can actually physically say it. But curious if the chat agrees on that one. Do you sit Brees Hall for Kelly? Curious to know. Give Puka. Yeah, I got that one. That's amazing. Thank you for those super chats, guys. This one right here. How do you feel about Chris Godwin? I'm indifferent on him. I'm not excited about him. I definitely would trade him away. I definitely would love to get a Damian Pierce, a Debo, a Waddle, even if you give up a tiny bit more. I'd much rather have, instead of Godwin, I'd much rather have, honestly, Dotson. I think Dotson's a great buy low. Nico versus Indy. Herbert versus Tampa. I'm going Khalil Herbert. Oh, Kelly. I'm going Kelly. Kelly versus the Titans. Easy call, Nate. Easy call. Garrett Wilson. and Tua for Ridley. If you don't, Bryson, if you don't need Tua, if he's your second quarterback, it's a lot. It seems like you should be getting a little more back though, fair market value wise. But like I understand wanting to get Ridley in your lineup. So can you get a little bit more back? You're giving him a boatload. You might be handing him a championship if you're not careful, but also helping your team. Fields or Richardson, I'm going Fields personally. I'm not sitting Justin Fields after 1 week. Super villain, no message attached. Thank you for the $5 holler. Appreciate you, pal. I'll see if you maybe tried to send a message somewhere. You guys got to include it in the message because I'm sometimes not able to see any other message that you might have attached to it, the way that these streams go and how much freaking messages come rolling through. I'll look for it, bro. Hall for me, says Kurt. Sit Brees. No way, Pierce. Brees will probably get max 15 touches. What can he do against the Cowboys D? Well, I think Brian, he's capable of doing something great against any D, bro. To be honest with you. Hall is a flex. Go take a lap, says Kurt. Smitty, Brees or Zach Moss. Come on, that one's silly, Zage, or whatever your name was. That one's silly, bro. That one's absolutely silly. Elijah Moore or Sutton rest of season. Probably Elijah Moore. Appreciate you, Trojan. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you, Super Villain, for the $5. I don't see a message anywhere. I tried to look. Trade McLaurin and Kirk for Garrett Wilson. Absolutely. That's how you take advantage of a Garrett Wilson, scared Garrett Wilson owner. Here's a Super Villain question. I think this is it. Start 2, Breece Hall, DJ Moore, Watson. Watson's probably not going to play, I imagine, at the end of the day. But if he did, he's maybe limited. I would go DJ Moore and Breece Hall. Zay Flowers and DJ Moore is probably your safest play. Breece Hall would be, Zay Flowers is pretty safe. I guess DJ Moore and Zay Flowers, if you wanted to sit somebody for Breece, sit DJ Moore. But I think DJ Moore is going to have a day. I go Flowers and DJ Moore, and I'm just careful with Breece Hall with those available options. I love Breece Hall. Sitting Breece Hall is tough. If he goes nuts, I'm going to be screaming and yelling, and you're going to be depressed watching him go nuts. But he's playing Dallas. He's still limited. I would say DJ Moore and Flowers seem safer. Did I miss anybody's super chat? Your boy's about out of here. Appreciate you all. I'll see you at the 8 p.m. show. 10-team Superflex League. What, Mike? I'll see you all later. Appreciate every single one of you. See you later. 8 p.m. show coming up. Benji, how to trade for Ridley, have Amari, Puka, London, Swift. You could trade Swift for him straight up. Trade Swift and Puka. Past that, you need to make them overpay, bro. And Jason with the super chat. Jason said, I need 2 flex spots. Pick 2. Javonte, Roshan, Dotson, London, Algier. Probably Javonte and Dotson for right. No, maybe Algier's safest. Algier and Dotson, broski. Algier and Dotson. See you all later.